Let's solve by factoring. We have y, or f of x, equals x bracket x minus 4. We use polynomial distribution to arrive at this original question, and the idea of solving is setting y equals 0. Essentially, we're finding the roots or x-intercepts. So something times something is 0. We could think of this x as x minus 0 and this x minus 4. We realize that x minus 4 is a factor that could be 0 because 0 times anything is 0, and the opposite of negative 4 is x equals 4. Because when x is 4, 4 minus 4 is 0. This is one of the possible x-intercepts. Furthermore, x can also be 0. 0 times anything is still 0, so x equals 0 is another possible root. Let's now solve using the quadratic formula. X equals minus b plus minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. For this a value, we have a equals 1, and the b value is negative 4. Plus 0, c is the constant 0. So x equals negative b, negative of negative 4 is just 4, plus minus the square root of b squared, negative 4 squared is 16, minus 4, a times c, 1 times 0 is just 0, all over 2 times a. A is 1, and 2 times 1 is 2. So we have x equals 4 plus minus the square root of 16 minus 4 times 0, 0, so we have just 16, and 4 plus minus root 16 is just 4 divided by 2, and we can split this into two fractions. 4 divided by 2 is 2, plus minus 4 divided by 2 is 2. So 2 plus 2, one possible answer is 4, and then 2 minus 2, the other possible answer is 0. We get the same result as before. Finally, let's solve by completing the square. We set y equals 0, and we're going to complete the square on this x squared x combo. We write bracket squared, and it's going to be x minus 2, because minus 2 is half of the coefficient of x, which is minus 4, minus this number squared. 2 squared is 4. This minus 4 we throw to the left becomes a positive 4. And this here is a completed square form, and we can now take the square root of both sides. So x minus 2 equals plus minus the square root of 4, which is plus minus 2. Adding 2 to both sides, we have x equals plus minus 2 plus 2. And 2 plus 2 is 4. And when it's minus, minus 2 plus 2 is 0. Same answers as before. Let's simplify this expression. This kind of looks like a possible solution for the quadratic formula. We use the heart of love. We can split this into this fraction. This divided by this, minus 4 divided by minus 2, plus minus this divided by this, root 8 divided by negative 2. If we have a fraction such as 2 plus 7 over 3, we can split it up to 2 over 3 plus 7 over 3. And when we have a plus minus sign and a minus sign, it simply flips the plus minus to a minus plus, which is the same thing, just both positive and negative. We consider two cases. So we don't really even need this minus sign here. So what is root 8? Root 8 is the same thing as 2 root 2 as a mixed radical. And 2 divided by 2, they cancel out. So negative 4 divided by negative 2 is just 2, and we have plus minus. These 2's cancel, and we just have root 2. So one possible answer is 2 plus root 2, and the other possible answer is 2 minus root 2. Let's solve the following unfactorable quadratic. We can't factor this, so we'll use the quadratic formula. X equals minus b, which is minus 2, plus minus the square root of b squared, that's 2 squared, minus 4ac. A is 3, and c is negative 4, all over 2 times a, which is 3. So we have the square root of 4. 2 negatives multiplied become positive. 4 times 3 is 12. 12 times 4, we have 48. All over 6. And we have inside here the square root of 52. It's the same thing as 2 times 26, or 2 times 2 times 13. So here we have a pair of 2's, and only one breaks out. So we have negative 2 plus minus 2 root 13 all over 6. And we can now split this into 2 fractions. We have negative 2 over 6 is negative 1/3, plus minus 2 divided by 6 ends up being divided by 3. And we have root 13. This here are the possible roots.